So this was sent in by Ty, host of the Side Character Quest podcast. Ty is a friend of mine and in our Discord. One of my favorite podcasts. It's a Dungeons & Dragons podcast, so it has nothing to do with this. Ty sent in this article from BuzzFeed. There is an AI model, not like a language model you download, but like a fashion model that was discovered in the pages of the August issue of Vogue. It was an ad for Guess's chevron dress. And reading directly from the BuzzFeed article, modeled by an otherwise unassuming but of course gorgeous blonde woman with a slim hourglass figure. However, a look at the small print revealed something surprising. Produced by Serafin Valora on AI. And that revelation quickly went viral on TikTok. A lot of the response was negative, obviously, because people were like, well, why this company has so much money. Why would you do this?
Right.
We will get into that. But
at least they disclosed it, though, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of companies, maybe smaller with less to lose, wouldn't disclose that at all.
No, completely. And they talk about it too, the people behind this. And I guarantee you that there have been probably pictures in loads of magazines now that have been AI generated and not disclosed. I wouldn't. I
mean, it's just too easy to do.
Yeah.
So
I find it hard to believe that wouldn't be true.
And it's gotten to the point where I think almost all of us would miss probably any good deepfake. If it makes it past quality control and ends up in a magazine, it's not going to be a crappy one, for sure.
Especially in a magazine, because like if you think about slop, and maybe this is just my opinion on magazines, like magazines are slop, and they have been forever, kind of. But like
they definitely can be.
That's like the bulk of what a lot of stuff is trained on, is all these stock photos and model photos. So it is insanely good at generating them. These do not look AI generated at all. These look very real.
Well, and once you get to the level of Vogue and magazines like that, all the people in it, all the real people are so retouched anyway with Photoshop, and they don't have pores on their face anymore, or they have selective amount of pores.
Selective amounts of organs.
Gloss on their face and everything else. Yeah. Their proportions have been moved around, all of that. So I think in many ways, fully generated an AI model may be, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say almost on the same ethical level, if not maybe more ethically done, if you disclose it, than taking another model and without their permission, like changing their features and making them look essentially like a different person.
And setting these unrealistic beauty standards and things that we've been criticizing these industries for forever. Yeah. I honestly, that's a weird take. And it wouldn't do well on Blue Sky, but I think I agree with you.
I don't know if I agree with myself.
Yeah.
But, I've heard the pain that a lot of real models go through when they look at them, their own face and their own body in the mirror every day. And then they look at what ends up on the cover. And that creates a psychological quandary.
What, I'm not good enough, even though I'm a professional model? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The AI is not going to have that, but it still has that effect of creating this false sense of what beauty standards should be.
Right. But at the same time, too, if we can just be like, it's been pervasive culturally to be like, it's all fake and touched up anyway. We all know that at this point. And then if it's another layer, if it's all just fake, maybe that does help abstract us from those beauty standards. But I'm not really sure. They talk a little bit about that, too, in the article, but I don't agree with their take in it either, the people behind this. Let me dive in a little further to what was behind this, because it's twisty. So Serafin Valora is actually run by these two women, Valentina Gonzalez and Andrea Petrescu. Again, always blanket sorry for anyone's names. I'm bad at them. They told the BuzzFeed interviewer that they started making AI models because they were trying to create a jewelry brand and couldn't afford the real thing. They're designers and architects, and so they decided to use their skills to create their own models, put their jewelry on them, and then other people saw them, it became successful, and it just kind of snowballed out from there. they said that Valentina said that they're the first AI-driven campaign to be published worldwide in 20 storefronts across Europe and additional 30 magazines. The interviewer asked why a brand like Guess, which has a presumably ample budget, would opt for AI. And they said that when Paul hired them, he told them very clearly that he's not looking to replace their models. He wants to supplement because they have so many product campaigns that can take a very, very long time to plan. So you can only do a few campaigns every year. So I don't know if I really buy that excuse. Hire more people to do more campaigns then. But that was his justification there. The two women who run this insist that their use of AI rather than a layman's is a form of art. Valentina made a comparison saying, quote, "It's no different to a random person taking a camera. That doesn't make them a photographer." They're also not fans of the idea that the models based on text inputs and proprietary techniques are easy to make. They deny that images of real people are used to make composites. They say it's not copying anyone's features. It's pretty much like imagination. I think they have an inflated sense of how tough it is to make an AI image. I think a lot of people do. It's not really that. Like, you can get your control net and like you can get a comfy UI up and tie as many nodes together as you want. It's not really, you're not doing anything that hard.
And it's, I mean, maybe when they first started, it was harder to get believable models like a year ago. But right now, it's super easy, even without like a comfy UI workflow or something. You can use most of the standard models and within a step or two, come up with something. Because you could create a model that has some tells, like, you know, it looks overly AI pretty easy the first time, but then you can run it through an upscaler that adds more skin texture and more, maybe even some of the visible flaws that an editor on Photoshop would try to take out. We find ourselves, when we're trying to create believable AI models, we find ourselves putting those back in.
Right. Because it's been trained presumably on a bunch of shop stuff.
Which is funny. Right?
Yeah. There's an irony to it.
Yeah. There is.
That's the very idea that makes me, not the adding back details, but the fact that it's so easy. That's what makes me leery of everyone trying to start like a business creating stuff with AI. Because like you realize that the thing you're using is like a baby's toy level of easy of button pushing. Like the thing is that it is taking away all of the, I don't want to say it's skill and artistry because that's sort of, there's a lot of weight to those, but like taking away a lot of the hard work that goes into making something. So like, yeah, you might be making it for this brand now, but this brand is going to find out that you're just clicking 3 buttons and typing some words, and they're just going to do it. So it's wild to me when I see people spinning up all these businesses. But I'm not trying to just poop on these people. They said that they noted that the guest ads have disclosures, but Andrea says she doesn't think there will necessarily be a requirement to do so in the future. As she put it, quote, "People are not familiar with it and people are scared of change. But once this becomes the new norm, I think whether companies decide to add it or not, it's not too relevant. The impact of it, whether you do it in AI or in a normal medium, will be the same if you get the same results."
Well, I think eventually, but right now we have the AI Act that's going into effect in the European Union over the next several months and years. And one of those is that if you use AI, you have to disclose it.
Right.
So whether they think it's something that people want or not, they're going to be, especially as a global publisher, global magazine, or somebody doing global distribution of the thing that they create, they're going to be in a position where until parts of that get repealed or there's some carve outs, those disclaimers are going to have to be there.
Right. That'll be something that they have to comply with. I do think in like, it's just hard for me because advertising is already so plastic and so there's so much artifice to it that I feel like that's going to be the first place where we stop seeing disclosures being mandated in things like.
Yeah. I mean, like, half of the, hamburgers, steaks, cheeseburgers, French fries, whatever that you see in commercials are not the real thing anyway, right? So,
oh man, I love the behind the scenes of how they shoot those and all the tricks they use. Like the cereal milk being glue, Elmer's glue was the first one that blew my mind.
Exactly. And nobody has to disclaim that. So I can understand pragmatically whenever you're replacing something that's real with a simulacrum. That's been done for decades in different ways. And this is just a new technology that's doing the same thing. But it fundamentally does feel like there's something different. I think that people need to spend more time wrestling with what those real fundamental differences are rather than just making big blanket statements. But it's easy to make the blanket statements.
Yeah, because that was actually my thought to lead into this, but I don't remember what I said. But what I was going to originally open this with was like, I really don't know how I feel about this because there's something that sucks about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that sucks about it in a way different from like learning that the cereal milk was Elmer's glue was a fun, cool fact about the creativity that went into making something look good in a photo. Yeah. Replacing like models with just AI and typing stuff in, there's nothing fun about that. There's nothing creative about that. There's nothing cool about that. That just, I mean, it's cool that that's possible, I guess, but there's nothing cool inherently about doing it, you know?
I guess from the perspective of the people that are doing it, I'm guessing that it all comes down to what their end goal is, which is, I want to be able to show what this ring or piece of jewelry looks like on a figure. And it's not really necessarily about, the full body and the clothing and everything else. Their end goal is, I want to see what this necklace looks like on a neckline. Let me render that up essentially and show that to the world. That their end goal is different than what we think about whenever we look at a picture, because we're looking at the whole of that and saying, does that look like an interesting person? Does it look like interesting clothing that they're wearing? Does everything pull together nicely? And they're like, no, I just need essentially a mannequin to stick my thing on.
Yeah, and it's like it's weird because it's already been so close to being pure artifice, and now it is. And like, how much of a stretch is that really? Yeah. It's a bummer because it's definitely going to put models out of work, like people who would be in these photo shoots, because absolutely, I don't buy that whole thing about that guy saying they only do a few shoots a year because they're so busy. Hire more people. You're a bajillionaire.
Right.
But yeah. On the note of beauty standards, because they did address that too, they asked if they worried, they asked these creators if they worried that their use of AI models would further an already unrealistic beauty standard. And they replied, quote, "We're not creating a new standard. The standard's always been there. We're pretty much in line with the same standard that is set in the rest of the magazine. If I look at a magazine, I'm going to be bombarded with 10 different supermodels. Because one is AI, it doesn't change anything." So again, they're very detached and kind of just pragmatic.
It seems like they're cynical about it.
And I mean, there's this one thing they said that I don't like this, but it's something that this sucks, but I'll just read what they said. Initially, the women say they featured more diverse body types and ethnicities on their Instagram pages, even men, but it was the, quote, fantasy type of woman that got them the most attention. Valentina said, "It's not even us, it's the public. If they loved the diversity, we would have flooded our Instagram with diversity." So these people are like only interested in success. They're not artists. They're not doing anything artistic, really.
Right. It's all about the click.
There's like a truth to that also is just that, like, it's the same reason people share AI Jesus and AI shrimp on Facebook. There is just this sort of mass of people who just don't care. And like, just that fantasy type is widely enough appealing because of whatever cultural reasons. Again, this is just bottom barrel stuff.
Yeah. I mean, on the optimistic side of it, it seems at least like they're self-aware of it, that they've got disclaimers out there and they're like, nah, it is what it is. And they're not trying to hide anything.
They're not being deceptive. And like, I respect that on an inherent level, but they are just like, we just want to get money. We just want to do this. This is so easy and it's a way to make money pretty much. Yeah. And like looking at their website, even like as someone who likes marketing, I won't beleaguer. I won't draw this out too long, but like even the descriptions on their pages are like AI generated. Like their lead line has a thing that says, "We don't just create AI images. We craft stories that move people," with the ChatGPT M dash, of course. And then for us, this is more than generation. It's a deeply creative process. It's just like loaded with all of the tells that we currently have for like something being AI written. So like, if you're going to put so little effort into your marketing, we should talk about it
sometime, whether the M dash is actually a Chat GPT tell or not, because I see it in a lot of Chat GPT output, but I see it there because it turns up in a lot of really also well-written output by humans. So does the system that you're inputting your text into naturally build those in? Like in Word or some of the other systems, if you hit two dashes together, it automatically converts to an M dash.
So it's not even an M dash on their site. It's just a dash, but it's placed in the same way to break the sentence like you would.
Yeah.
It's hanging out right there. It's little. So it's actually not even the M dash.
But the sentence structure sounds very Chat GPT.
It's the we're
not just bah, we're blah. Or, It's that you're seeing like every other paragraph in ChatGPT written text right now.
And the M- feature is usually right in that break there, in between that little thing.
Yep.
So I think that's why people have latched onto it. But yeah, so that's happening. And I guess I just wanted people to know about it. We could talk about it. I don't really know how I feel fully about any of this, but not great, I'd say.
Right. Well, you know what else is happening? Large language models are doing all the same things that we knew that they do. They are being biased. They are helping people do bad things. And they'll also help you worship Satan if you want to do that.
Ooh, awesome. Come worship Satan with us right after the break. We'll be right back.